All right, so we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
All right, let's see. Let's take
just
a
pull
moment.
up.
Yes, let's pull up the live directly on our phones. Today, we actually have a very special.
There you go, I got it.
Yes, today we're actually live, not only in the PSM, of course, community, within our live community, but also as a free training that we're providing as well to everyone else. This is really exciting, as of course we're going to be having a lot of people tuning in from a little bit all over the world at this point.
Yes.
So yes, let's start by just simply seeing who is here. Just simply comment away. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and let us know your win of the day.
Absolutely. So today, you may have seen it as well in the emails that you've received. So today we'll be actually talking about content creation.
Turn on the volume.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about content creation tips and ideas for your business growth, which is really, really exciting. So we'll go in detail about more of the how to spread your message clearly with your audience so that you can attract your ideal audience, and also about the algorithm and how to use it to your advantage as well. Definitely. And we have a special surprise for you at the end as well. So make sure to stick until the end so you can have the surprise.
Yes, we definitely do. But in the meantime, definitely share with us your wins.
Yes.
We're going to have quite a bit to share on this particular live, as always, of course. But we want to make sure that this is going to be a good interactive live, because the more you ask, the better we're going to be able to just not only answer, but provide you personalized tips that you're going to be able to just take away directly from this live. So yeah, we see more and more people joining on Facebook. We are going to be seeing more people joining in soon. But yeah, I think that we can actually overall just start as we're waiting for more and more people to join. I see Hannah. Hello, Hannah. Hello,
hey,
Dale.
Hey, Hannah.
Great to have you guys here.
Yes. So, so first of all, let's talk more about the how to spread your message, right? Because this is the main thing that a lot of people are wondering. Mm-hmm. So first of all, I definitely want to talk about something that I feel like is not talked about enough, but there's this thing that is called the golden circle, which is pretty much, three circles. So there's one smaller one, which is the why, then there's how, and then there's another one, which is the what. So pretty much in any organization, there's things that you know about your organization or your business, which is what is it that you do, which is kind of what the everyone knows. Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah. So what it is that you're doing in your organization. Then there is the how, which a lot of businesses kind of know this as well. So how you do what you do. Yeah. And then there's the why, which is the thing that a lot of people kind of overlook. Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So a lot of people actually overlook that in business, but that would be pretty much why you do what you do. Mm-hmm. And that is one of the key elements that is so important. Really. And the why, by the way, it's not about money, because the money is kind of, that's the result.
It's not
that's the result of you helping
material.
Someone.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the result of you helping someone. But in terms of the why, this would be your purpose, the reason why you do what you do. Definitely. And why you're helping others. So that's one thing that is really important before you spread your message, is to even know what your message is and what your why is as well.
Yeah. The more you become clear on your personal message, the easier it's going to become, right? Have anyone ever had that, like, you want to create either certain content, you want to, you feel like, man, I want to just create content and just put my word out there. But if your message is not clear within you, it can become very difficult to have that inspiration to be able to just go there and just spread your message, because if it's not clear within, it's not going to be clear on the expression of just like creation of it all, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's one of the very key topics for sure.
By the way, hello Ryan, and hello everyone who's joining as well. Definitely share your wins with us. We love to interact with you and celebrate with you all. Also, make sure to tag your your accountability buddies, everyone, definitely. That you can have access to this live. Yes, so one of the reasons why it's so important to know your why is because people will usually be attracted to, not necessarily to what it is that you do, but to the actual reason why you do something, right? If you think about, and I'm just going to say an example just like that, but if, let's say there's two swimwear brands, okay, and there's one of them that is just sharing about their product itself, And then there's the other one, on the other hand, that actually shares the why they're doing this, that they want to make an impact, that, I don't know, the material is made of recycled plastic or something like that, but they share their purpose. They share why they're doing what they're doing. Well, as this is something that would, for example, align with me and my values and my core beliefs and everything, I'm definitely going to be way more attracted to the brand. Even if they look the exact same, I'm definitely going to be more attracted to the brand that shares their purpose and their mission, rather than the other one, which is just about the product. So to keep that in mind, that's the best way for people to just be able to relate with you and to connect with you on a deeper level as well.
Like, it couldn't even be like, going back to that comparison, like the one that is all about the product, that is pushing the product, it could be like the best product in the world, right? They could have like overall the best, amazing material and whatever. But at the moment that the other one actually has a mission attached to it, you get more attached. You get more attached to the story itself, that is actually, wow, all right, they're actually doing all this out of like recycle to just actually make a point, to just be able to have their very own impact on the planet. I want to be a part of that impact, right? Absolutely. So it's like, that's what you follow. And the reason why we're sharing this is because this overall just simply goes to all that you do as well, right? Whenever you are looking for the inspiration, right? At the moment that you know what your mission is, we should never be, again, of what actually was shared before, of just about like the money or just the material things, because those always just come and go, right? It's
dig
always
deeper
just,
than that.
At the moment that you dig deeper than that, you get to know your what, how, and most of all, your why you do certain things, what drives you, right, to do certain things. At that point, you create your very own mission. That's how you actually attract people that are looking for people that are already on that mission, but that then now they can actually lock arms with and just, strive together alongside to be, inspired and working with one another, right?
Absolutely. Hello, Cindy.
Hello, Cindy.
Definitely share your wins with us.
Yes, for sure.
Hear about all of that. Yes, absolutely. I mean, and the thing as well is it's called the limbic brain, right? Because there's two parts. There's different parts of the brain, of course, but that, but the part that that resonates with and that is responsible for all of your feelings and for decision making in people is the limbic brain. And so therefore, when you speak with the why first, instead of just the what and the how you do it, but you actually speak to the why and the cause and the purpose of what it is that you're doing, then this is when people can actually really resonate with you on that deeper level where they can feel if this is something that aligns with them, yes or no. And therefore, this is going to be a lot more attractive, of course.
Definitely. So the overall like content creation tips, more in depth about that, like we're going to be talking about that soon enough, but the start of it all really starts from you, right? And this is why we don't want to overlook this, because it already happens way too often, where of course there are so many like tips and tricks to be able to create the perfect content that attracts like an audience, and just overall like, and we're going to be sharing all that as well, but it's just really key and very important, and it's crucial most of all for you yourself to know what is your mission. What are you striving for? What is driving you? What wakes you up in the morning to just be on that mission, to just get out of bed early and just stay up late, to just be able to work on your mission, to then be able to just simply see how it all attracts to you and just automatically grows, right? But that's just really, really key and important to just dig deep.
Absolutely.
First, for sure.
Absolutely. So the first thing is definitely to get to know yourself. To find out more about your why as well. And then of course is to know your ideal clients, right? It's to know your audience, because it's really important to understand. Because it's really important to understand what is their desired situation. What is the problem that you're going to help solve for them? Because in business, you're in the business of pretty much solving problems, right? And so you have to know what is the problem and what is the thing that you are going to help them with. So it's really important to get to know them more, so that you can really speak to them and post with purpose, where you're not just posting about random things or the things, okay, I just feel like posting this or posting that, but this is, that you are posting things that are going to be useful, that are going to bring value to your audience. So there's two ways that you can go about it. You can, yes, of course, you can talk about yourself and your journey. And I feel like when you talk about yourself, it's all about building connections at this point. It's really all about
being vulnerable, right?
About,
just put yourself out there.
Being vulnerable, being more transparent, being authentic to yourself, sharing more about your values, your passions, the things that drive you, all of those things, you know, everything that is pretty much the why behind the scenes as well. So that's when you're talking about yourself, it's really to build those connections. And when you're talking to your audience directly, then it's mostly things that can help them on a deeper level, what it is that your audience right now needs to hear, and that is going to either brighten their day, that is going to be motivational, or this is something that they're going to learn from you. So something that they can use for their growth as well. So something that's going to be useful for them.
Definitely. And most of all, mostly because like before we start talking about more of the content, like perfectionism is something to just really leave behind, right? Because when it comes to just creating content and just like overall just putting yourself out there, it doesn't really matter like how perfect it is, because what's important is just like for you to actually put yourself out there to begin with, right? To be able to make those connections, to be able to build up that value. That's the most important thing, where like you got to look at your social media not much as, how can I say this, like a wall where you're going to create it all so perfect. Leave that all behind and just start thinking that like your social media, you want to build it where it's so freaking valuable, where it doesn't matter for the looks, it will come with time, instead of actually staying for like months and months and months of like thinking like, well, I got to think of like that perfect way to build that brand, right? Or I got to look at the perfect color themes, or just like switch up the color themes every so often. No, it's just literally all coming down to the message, right? How many times does it happen that like, I'm sure that everyone here is following someone on social media that really inspires them, right? It's normal. What is it that catches your attention when you're following that person? Like the content, is it always all so perfect? Or if you were to look all the way down and just scroll all the way to the bottom, you might even see that in the beginning it was like really unperfect, but then the brand starts to build over time, right? Sure. This is like the concept that you have to start to think of, like it's not much of like how pretty can I make it look, but rather how valuable can I make it look, so that like I'm really solving someone's problem. I'm really having people like save, not only like, but really save and just share, most of all because it's valuable, not just because it's so pretty, right?
Yes.
The looks is like the bonus on top
Absolutely.
of it.
Absolutely. I think, you know, as well, something that is really important is to be clear on your page, because the thing is, you know, for example, if you just start a new sport, right? You just start tennis and you need tennis shoes, and you go to a store and they just show you two boxes. You don't know what's in there, but they just tell you you have to choose between these two pair of shoes. If you don't know what you're going to get, you're not going to be able to choose between the two. You're not going to be able to decide which one is, you know, good for you. And that's the same thing with your pages, because as you start a business, by the way, we'll share with you how to create a fan page and everything, so that you can really separate your personal page than your business page. But as you are utilizing social media and marketing and advertising, people can definitely, you know, get and land on your page. And as they are on your page, that's when they're going to learn more about you and what you're about. And it should be really, really clear when someone sees your page exactly what you can help them with. It should be easy for them to find out, you know, what you're going to help them with and what you're about, what your values are and all that stuff, so that they can already know what, you know, if this is something that is a good fit for them. Totally.
That overall just goes on the message itself of the bio. Right? What you have on your bio is extremely important. Why? Because that's what's going to attract your audience, right? That's why it's like, it's really never overcomplicating it, rather than just like creating for yourself. And we do have a live towards this for you all that you're part of the community. Of course, you guys will know exactly where to go within the what's it called?
The guide section.
Yes,
it changed the name.
Facebook changed the name. So in the guide section, go in the guide section and just overall take a look at where like the live is to create your avatar. Because at the moment that you know your avatar and you know who you want to attract, you're gonna know like what problems are you gonna want to solve for this person, right? Absolutely. Who is this person? Like what kind of value can you wrap around your social media on your business pages, right? So that at the moment that they see your bio, they're like, huh, this is exactly who I am. And let me check this person out on the value that they have. And then that's when you actually get not only a follower, but someone that you're able to make a new connection, right? That can eventually become like a new amazing business partner, of course. But it's just like overall, just thinking of the value and how to attract the right people that you personally would love to work with, right? Yeah, so it goes as simple as that, for sure.
Absolutely. And
very simple, but that's the effectiveness of it.
Yes. And back on that topic as well of the live about finding your avatar, finding your audience. We do have, for anyone that's a part of the community, you'll find as well a PDF that we have put together. It's actually a worksheet that's going to help you to find your avatar, asking questions and things like that. So you're going to be able to really go through the sheet and to know exactly where to go from there. So where to begin. So definitely utilize the resources you have access to. We have over 60 plus lives that are available.
So much value.
Yes, we do have a couple of messages. Do you want to have a look?
As we're about to take a look at the messages, I want to leave you guys with this question. So we're going to have more of the engagement in the chat as well. Because we do see here that there are quite a few people that are actually already within the business and creating content and attracting their ideal audience. Let us know, in what way are you building value on your social media currently right now, just so it can inspire others as well. What are you using for you to just create that value? Is it mostly on the highlights? Is it more on just like the posts, stories, reels? What are you using and how is it working for you? So it can actually be of inspiration for everyone else. In the meantime, let's take a look at the comments. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, let's get into it. Okay, so we have, all right, well, thank you, first of all, for everyone for tagging people in this live so they can have access to the value later on.
Yeah, awesome job, guys.
Cindy says, wins day 61 out of 75 hard.
That's what's up.
Congratulations for that. That's amazing. Day 10 of 30-day Reels challenge. Wow.
That's cool. That's
amazing.
Cool. There you go.
And it's great because we'll talk about Reels later on as well.
Yeah,
but this is definitely the way to go.
Definitely.
She also says, I started running ads 2 days ago and just today started bringing in leads. Congratulations. That's amazing.
We'd love to hear those wins.
Yes, I'm looking forward
to
Cindy. I'm looking forward to the growth that my discipline and consistency will bring.
There you go. There you go. Keep it up.
She also adds to that, imperfect action is better than no action. And that's absolutely true. And congratulations, yes, of course, on being super interactive on your page with your reels.
Yeah, for sure.
Congratulations on your challenge. That's absolutely fantastic. It builds a lot of discipline. We know that challenge is not that easy and you're making it. So congratulations for that. And the ads as well. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. So congratulations all over all over the wins.
And it's cool because it reminds me, because like right now, Cindy, you're just starting. You said that it's what, day 10, I believe it was?
Day 10 out of 30.
Day 10 out of 30. But I remember that like Dill and Hannah on one of the previous lives that we had on the Inner Circle, the weekly lives with everyone running their business, they actually shared that now everything is all working fully organic, right? Where they're like, of course, they have their ads going, but it's just like the consistency that they're putting in is actually building so much of that organic. So for you, Cindy, it's like you're on day 10 out of 30. But I'm sure that like by the time that you finish day 30, it's not going to be that like, all right, that's it, I'm done. Because that's literally when everything, as it's already starting to get the ball rolling now, is going to build so much momentum that then not only with your ads, but also with the organic, is going to build this huge machine of such value that is just cycling continuously on your social medias, that it just becomes a new habit of just like, the new norm to just continuously post and share that value. Amazing work all
congratulations.
Around. Yeah, for sure. Awesome job.
Ellen Hannah also says, Cindy, that's amazing. Congratulations on the new ads, leads, and loving the reels you've been creating. Absolutely. They've all been amazing.
Cool. That's so cool.
And you too, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, Dell says, wins for us this week. We've had an amazing trip in Tennessee, and we're able to meet some incredible people, have some truly amazing conversations this past week. We've also been able to begin scaling our ads and begin creating new Reels content as well. Well, congratulations.
That's cool,
That's amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Yes. And I mean, it's amazing to see that you guys are traveling and having the business running automation in the background. Congratulations for everything you're doing.
Huge congrats, everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing.
Yes. So at this point, so we were talking about being clear on your message, and yes, it definitely starts with your bio and everything that you're creating. It can be your highlights. Everything, because usually when someone is going to click on your profile, they're going to have a look at the highlights, they're going to have a look at your also at your bio, and then they're going to look at the posts. So one thing as well is that we know that you guys are starting a business. It's not just it's to impact people, and definitely the more people you can attract to your page, the more people you can impact with your business as well, and impact their lives. And so the more people you can attract, the better. And so we'll also be talking a little bit more about the algorithm later on. And we'll be talking a little bit about strategies that can help you with your growth and with your business as well.
Especially now with the Reels that are like literally crushing the game right now. Instagram is just really pushing so much on everyone that is creating Reels. It's like they want to beat the competition, and for them the competition is TikTok, right? Let's be real, that's just what it is. So at the moment that you create a Reel, you get that much more reach compared if it was to be like a regular post or even video. Video before was the number one thing, right? Not only on just lives, but IGTV or overall like those less than a minute videos that would get so much reach. But now Reels are really what is being pushed so much. So if you're looking for a way to build an audience fast and attract your ideal client, make sure to not only create Reels just to create Reels. Yes, they have to be fun. You have to be like just yourself, right? It's normal. But every so often sprinkle a little bit of that value where there's a good balance, where it's not just overall like always just business, because like no one really likes that compared to having the humanity in there. They like, you are human, not just a robot that just kind of like talks business. Hey, overall, like if that's your style, that's like however you wish to just put yourself out there. But this is an advice that is like, is never coming off as always just like the authority, because that can be intimidating for someone that is just like brand new, that just connects with you. It's like, man, that guy is such a professional that I feel like if I reach out, who knows, maybe I'm not like at that level yet, so I can't reach out, right? So it's just like that balance of personal, just fun, and overall just value that you can share that actually attracts your audience of like, wow, this person is actually really cool, and at the same time has a lot of value to actually share. Let me connect.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And I see Randy is here as well.
Hi, Randy.
Hello, Randy. For some reason, I can't see her comment over here.
Go for it.
So she says, hey all, I like to use my stories either from reposting or making my own to share wisdom from what I've been going through and what I'm learning, relearning in order to create connections with my audience who views my stories, so we can have talking points and create better relationships. I love that. Yes, absolutely. Really it's all social media is about being social, right? It's about creating new relationships. So it's absolutely beautiful, the mindset that you have from that too. And
absolutely.
So Dale also replied, love that. We also found this to be incredibly successful with being consistent with our stories to share value, success stories, newly learned strategies, and what we're currently doing to create more personal connections with others.
That's awesome, guys. Absolutely awesome.
Yes.
And they say, hello, Adam. Well, hi, Adam. Great to have you here as well. Great to have everyone here. And one thing that I do want to share, that this is actually, and this is something that I do want to also, I don't know if you have it on that you're going to want to share it as well, but overall the difference of like story compared to Reels, right? And just like overall how to attract a new audience and also continue to build value with the audience that you currently already have, that are your followers, right? Because there's a difference on what content to create on that will serve a different purpose for that. So yeah, we'll talk more about that in just a sec, but
absolutely.
yeah,
I mean, we can already start talking about more of like how you're found on Instagram.
For sure.
Because Reels,
for
it's
sure.
on Instagram. So we'll talk about Instagram a little bit. But there's different ways for your profile to be found by people on Instagram, by a new audience on Instagram. So there's going to be, of course, the hashtags, right? Which you can use up to 30 with Instagram.
Yeah, which now there's a new thing regarding hashtag. In the past, you could have put them like down in the comments and that would have been okay. Right now with the new algorithm, definitely make sure not to do that, because like even Instagram said that now if you are going to be using hashtags, it must be within the caption. You're
still able to put them in the comments, but it's just that it's going to be more effective if you put it in the actual caption. So now that's a new thing that Instagram did release as well.
So overall, just definitely make sure not to put it in the comments, just because like you want to have that reach, just put it directly in the caption. It'll give you less for you to type, but hey, it's okay, because like you'll be having more people to be able to reach. Right?
Absolutely. And the way that you would be going about it is simply to go in, if you want to find hashtags at this point, is to go in the search bar and to literally just have a look at the different hashtags. I would say to try and find hashtags that are not overused, if it's always millions and things like that, especially if you have a smaller account or that you're just getting started. It's going to be great if you can have, some that are a little bit smaller, within 20,000 to 50,000 as well, so that you can really compete within that audience as well. Just so you know, what happens is that once you post something with the hashtag, right, there's going to be that on that feed of that hashtag, there's always the 9 first ones that are the most popular ones. So if you're competing with like millions and millions of people,
and your account
is a small one, the people with the most engagement are going to be on top. So you have less chances of you being featured at the top and of actually even people being able to see your content, even if you're utilizing the hashtag.
Of course, we're saying this not to intimidate you, where it's like, oh man, so what kind of hashtags should I use? Well, use smaller ones, right? If you're just getting started, there's nothing wrong to literally start with hashtags that are like within the 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, and just like have 1 or 2 that can be like in the million, and just like overall have the other ones that are like 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000. You're going to be featured on the top of those, and those are still viewed. So what's better? That you get views, even if it's like a smaller amount, but organically it actually stays features all the way to the top, or that you use like, oh man, I'm going to just simply gamble it and just use all millions of hashtags. But hey, you're going to be featured, but all the way to the bottom, right? What's better? That you're going to be viewed organically, like more often than not, even if it's like with smaller hashtags, or that you use big hashtags, but that like you're never going to be having your post being viewed, right? So that's why it's like playing it with a strategic plan rather than like, I want to have like the millions of hashtags. It's not going to serve you yet, right? Play the game, and before you know it, you're actually going to ramp up to that point that you will be able to use those, because you're building and growing that much faster.
Absolutely. Right? Yes. And the formula that we're using right now is that we'll be using around 15 that are going to be specific to our niche.
Yeah.
And that's important. That are pretty much within 20,000 to 500K. So that's going to be within that range. 10 that are going to be more specific to the actual post that you're posting, right? For example, posting about business mindset, whatever it is that you're posting about, this is going to be more specific towards that. And then it can be around, again, the same range, usually for us, 50 to 500K. And then there's 3 more that are more specific to the industry that you are working in as well. So this is usually what we do.
Now, one thing to really keep in mind is that this was actually also said by Instagram. This is really important, that the hashtags that you do, they have to be relatable to the post itself, right? Either with what you are putting in the caption or like what the actual image or video or so on, what it is about. Because if you're talking about apples on the video, right, or image or whatever it is, but the hashtags are all about like oranges, it's like a small little silly example, but your Instagram is not, the algorithm itself is automatically not going to push your content as much as it would if you're actually talking and sharing about apples and you're also putting the hashtags that are about like apples, right? I mean, it's a silly, funny example, but that's just the truth of it. And it doesn't at all have to be exactly all about that, but it's just overall where it has to be just connected in a good way, right?
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? I know that this can be confusing, so let us know if you guys have questions towards this, because this is important to understand for sure.
We'll have a look at the comments. We have quite a bit right now. So Dilip says, hey Dilip, by the way,
Dilip.
that's great to have you. So Dilip says about hashtags, I remember a member from the community shared an app for it called Hish Hash, but I found that app little confusing to use. Has anyone here used it? I personally, I don't use apps because I like to have the real like updated numbers
from Instagram directly.
Because what we've noticed is because we've been using, for example, there's Preview that they have hashtags as well on their app.
A lot of applications.
Absolutely. But what happens at this point is that when you look at the hashtag, when you are searching on that app, sometimes it's going to show you that there's, for example, an audience of 20K.
Yeah.
But then if you're actually looking at the audience on Instagram, then it's like 1 million. So it's just not always necessarily the exact thing. And so for us that we're trying to keep in that range of not too big hashtags, it's just, we prefer to use Instagram directly.
Yeah, it's not much the fact of just keeping it with like not too big of hashtags. It's more of like using the hashtags that are the accurate numbers. And there are no apps out there that can be as accurate as the ones that are directly on Instagram, right? So it just comes like, it might seem more complicated, but in reality, like it's actually simpler to search for the hashtags as you're typing them, because like at the moment that you're creating a post, this is why like doing everything with a purpose will align so fast and just like posting with that much more ease, because when you know what you want to post, when you know what you're looking to actually just simply overall share, you already get inspired on what audience you're looking to attract, right? So you'll know what hashtags you'll want to use. And at the moment that you type them directly on Instagram, what happens is that you're going to see the number, how it's updated with the actual number of the reach that is going to pretty much have within the hashtag itself, right? Compared to like if you use, this is why it's not even good to like save them in a way to just copy paste, because again, it grows, right? So you just want to make sure that it's just like a good way for you to know exactly what hashtags you're using.
Absolutely. Agree with that. And Dale says, yes, we usually utilize a mix of both the popular and then more niches down at hashtags. Great tip, because when we first started, we would always use the hashtags with millions and then saw much better growth when we niched down a bit further. Absolutely. For sure. That's definitely something that it's great that it's well known in the community now.
Definitely.
Dilip, he also says, so Dale says, Dilip, we haven't used that app yet, but we found the app hashtag expert to be a helpful app for finding more niched hashtags and posting content. So that's cool. Great. Thank you for that. Hey Mel, by the way.
Hello Mel.
Hello. And Dale also says, completely agree, Rob and Steph. We use the app mainly to spark ideas for initially generating the hashtag. From there, we always go back to Instagram to check them out, then before ever using them. That's a great tip. And thank you for that info.
And that's a great way to use the apps itself. Because the apps, I know that like on many occasions, what I used to like about the apps is that it will give you the whole bulk of like the hashtag that is like similar to one another. Right. So I would like that. But then when we actually found out that they're not always updated with the actual numbers, we stopped using that, because then at that point, it's like you're using it, but you're not really like in control of knowing like the actual accurate number. Right. So you might think you're targeting, like you're using a hashtag that has like 20, 50 or 100K, where instead it's in the millions and it's working against you, because at that point your post is actually completely lost, right? So it's just like really using that, like Dill and Hannah just shared, of just the inspiration of overall knowing what hashtags to use. But as you bring them into Instagram, to just like bring them in there and take a look at the numbers. If they're good, that you like them, awesome, use them. If you don't, hey, make the correction. And most often than not, it's not going to be on all of the hashtags that you have to make the correction. But even if you save yourselves from that 1, 2, or 3, it'll boost your post that much more.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for inspiration as to like what type of hashtags you can use, we do have in the community resources as well in the class section, the hashtag list. So you can have access to that as well as you're in the community. And, you again, just use that as inspiration, because again, we don't put necessarily like the amount of reach that is.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really just for you to kind of have ideas sparked as well. So you can have access to that in the community. So hashtag is the first way, is one of the ways where you can have your account be found. Then another way where your account could be found online would be shares, right? Is if someone shares your content to other people. And for that, just keep in mind, why would you want to share a piece of content from someone to someone else? And usually that's going to be because it's unexpected, it's more motivational, maybe it's going to be relatable, funny. So those are going to be the things that you're going to look for if you're going to want to have a post that is
valuable
shareable
as well, that you're like, wow. It's just like, many times it happens that it's like you see a post that there's so much value in it. They're like, man, I got to share this with someone that I know they're going to be using this as well, right? Think of it this way. Don't just create content for your ideal audience and that's it. Create it so that it's just so valuable, so good that even like a friend of someone, right, that is like, man, is they see like a piece of content. I'm going to give an example of like online business, right? You share 3 tips that have served you well, helped you well with your online business that you didn't know prior, that like how it will actually help you, right? With the automation and what have you. That is so valuable, not just with a story, but overall, like the tips are so good and usable, right? That people can actually implement what they're reading, that like a friend that sees the post is like, man, I know that John, whatever, he's looking to start his business. Let me share this with him. Right? Because it might be actually useful for him. So never overall just build and create content that is just for the inspiration and that's it. But give those steps that people are actually able to implement and take away from. That is like, wow, this is so valuable. I need to save it. This is so valuable. I need to share it. Right? So overall, just think of the value. Right? But that most of all comes again from what we were sharing in the beginning. Know what is your mission. What is your why? What drives you to just create this content? Because overall, it can never just be, because I want to actually make 10K within the next month, right? I want to make like 100K within the next 12 months or whatever. All that will come when you know your mission and you're able to build so much value that you're automatically going to attract that audience to the value that you're providing, right?
Again, money is a result. It's not a why.
The impact
that's not something that
overall.
is absolutely. And another way that you can be found is, of course, with using the locations, the tags, and lastly, the explore page as well. And that is going to happen as you have engagement. So something to keep in mind is to always engage with your audience. And, in the comments as well, you can ask questions, guide people in your captions as well. For example, like share this if, to someone that could find this useful, or comment if you agree, or things like that. But share things that are going to be guiding people so that they know exactly what it is that you're looking for.
And most of all, like one thing now to just kind of like bring this up so you guys can all know how to be able to just overall attract, but also retain your audience itself, right? Because it's not overall just like using the hashtags, location. These are all tips that a lot of people overlook. So definitely note all this down, because it's never just about like creating the content itself. It's just like overall using all the applications that Instagram itself gives you, right? The hashtags, the location, like Steph was mentioning as well. But knowing what kind of content to create for what reason, that's going to be extremely valuable, itself. So just know, right? Thank you. Just know that like overall reels, and really note this down. This is really important. If you're looking to attract a new audience to you, right? the pieces of content play a key role into this. So Reels is actually going to automatically going to reach a newer audience, right? This is why even if you have like the smallest account, it can reach thousands of views, because if the content is good, it's going to attract a new audience. The best way to provide value to your current audience, and this is something that was confused because back in the past this used to work. Right now, stories is mostly going to be seen only from your current followers, right? Unless you put hashtags on the stories and so on. Yeah, location, that's different. If you use the application, just like Steph just mentioned, that's different because it reaches like a newer audience. But if you're just creating stories and you're not putting anything on it, it's still good. It's still awesome, because at that point, you're keeping in touch with your current followers, right? Which is really important. But this is why it's really key that whenever you are creating stories and whenever you have the possibility, put the location, right? Put a hashtag if you feel like you wish to actually just put a hashtag, and you can even just minimize it so it's not even seen, but like that hashtag is there and it still works for you. But overall, the content that you're using, if you're looking to attract an audience itself, like a new audience that is not currently following you, use Reels, put the hashtags in there, and just overall use that to be able to attract a new audience. The stories itself, use it to be able to keep in touch with your current audience, right? Really key, really important.
Definitely. Really just keep in mind that if you're looking to have a bigger engagement or have more followers, have more people coming to you, reach is the most important metric. So reach is what's most important, and what it is that you're going to be posting has an impact on the reach that you're going to have. Right now, Reels is the first thing that is prioritized with Instagram. So it's going to be the first thing that's going to be prioritized. And there's IGTV. Then there's video posts as well. There's then carousels, and then it goes to single posts too. So definitely play, with all of them, but you can use more of those that are now prioritized more from Instagram, so that you can have a bigger reach coming to you. And that's exactly, I know that a lot of you are starting to utilize Reels as well.
That's awesome.
I have one last thing as well, a little secret. That I just found out, and it's about Reels and how you can also use Reels in order to be discovered by a lot more people. And it's actually that once you have created a Reel, to use Pinterest to create a new pin, because right now what's super popular on Pinterest is Reel ideas. And so you can create a pin about Reel ideas, and you link your pin to your Instagram, and that way every single time that someone goes through Pinterest and has a look at that, they can go on your Instagram, they discover you there. And a lot of people, and that's why I'm sharing this is a secret, you guys.
This is new.
So this is really
start using this.
So if you're doing that at this point, I've seen some people having like millions and hundreds of thousands of people actually looking at that pin and then going to your Instagram. So that brings in a lot of traffic. And again, what we were talking about before is that if your goal as a business owner is to solve problems, it's to solve as many people's problems as possible, is to impact as many lives as possible. And therefore, the more people see your content, the more people are impacted by you, the better, right? So having more people to see what you're doing and what you're about is a great way to do that.
The cool thing is just keep this in mind, right? It's never all about just like, man, so now I got to create content on Instagram, I got to create content on Pinterest, I got to create content on Pinterest. No, you're creating one piece of content. That piece of content is actually used so that it can actually leverage all platforms where they work for you. Right?
It can be repurposed.
It can be repurposed. And this is why we're sharing this, not to overwhelm, but to teach you how to work smart while your business is running for you with the ads and overall attracting the audience that you're looking to target through the ads for your business.
Definitely.
But that you're also attracting an audience organically, right? That you master that game as well, right? And using this technique, using this strategy will allow you to have that one piece of content repurposed, so that now you're omnipresent, right? You're on Pinterest, you're on Instagram, right? It works the same way, where it's that one post that on Instagram, the great thing about, we're on Pinterest. The great thing about Pinterest is that that's connected with, most of all, like the Google Analytics, right? So that is extremely powerful, because at the moment that you are putting the text in there as well on the caption itself, right, it actually works for you. Why? Because the actual analytics, it goes with the key search of the keywords.
People are looking exactly for what you're posting.
For exactly what you're posting. So keep in mind that whenever you are typing out what you're typing out for the content, that you have the specific keywords, because of that, and you don't have to overthink it. You really don't have to overthink it. But that's the beauty of it, is keeping it simple, but really typing out for exactly like what problem does it solve, right? What is the content about? So whoever is searching for that either real inspiration or overall just that question that they're wondering, and you solve that within the reel itself, right, is going to get that many views. At the moment that is linked to your Instagram, it will just boost up not only your Pinterest, but the main goal is just to also overall bring your audience on multiple places where you are, so they can be connected with you and they could build that trust and value from you as well. So let us know if you guys are finding this really valuable. Like huge round of applause for like Steph if you guys are finding this valuable of what she just shared right now, because this is a great tip.
That's a new secret. That's really cool. I've seen this. You guys are one of the first people knowing this. Hey Rani, that's great to have you here.
Hi Rani.
Amazing. Thanks for the secret. Yes. Well,
for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, reels are incredible, and we're gonna have another surprise at the end of this call, so definitely stick with us,
for sure,
because we know that this is becoming really popular, and we are really excited for you all to see.
Definitely.
So absolutely, yes, at this point. So in terms of reels, this is something that you can talk a lot about. Yes, of course, you can introduce yourself, you can talk about your life, you can also talk about, you can introduce your business, you can share tips, you can do so many things, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that as well. One thing to keep in mind is that you are building trust when you are being consistent on your page as well. So this is something really cool to keep in mind, because as you are being consistent and that you're constantly showing up on your platforms, then your audience is constantly receiving value from you, and
for sure,
that's how they build trust with you, because they see you more often too.
Definitely.
And just to get back into, because I had lost my train of thought, but to get back into, you were talking about repurpose of posts. Well, your post, for example, on Instagram can be shared on your fan page and vice versa, and same thing with Pinterest and everywhere pretty much. So everything, whenever, and even on your stories, you can share your reels on your stories. You can share the fact that you have a new post. Something that is really cool as well is I've learned that changing even a profile picture before posting something, because you just change your profile picture, Instagram wants to show it to more people, and therefore your profile is going to be a little bit more omnipresent on the platform. So even changing your picture or posting on your stories before posting something,
for sure,
it can also boost the engagement. So definitely. Just use all of those tips, write them down. If this is a lot, you can always go back to this live and write things down for yourself as well. But those are all things that we definitely wanted to share. But do we want to get into the form, Cindy?
Yeah, I believe that actually just right now we're going to. I see Cindy put a round of applause with #value. That's awesome. That's for Steph. That's really cool. Thank you for that. And tips after tips after. Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for, right?
Absolutely.
Overall, not just like for tips that are just overwhelming. We're hoping that this is all like simple enough to be implemented. Let us know, like, if you guys are finding this valuable, that you're going to be using it. If you have questions regarding all of this, let us know. Let us know now, especially that we're live, because we want to make sure that we're answering these questions and just providing you guys not just with tips, sorry about that, but with just like the overall value that will allow you to just take this value and immediately bring it home and just start implementing it itself, right?
Yeah. And last tip that I just thought about, because we were talking about consistency, is that if you're wanting to have a profile that is, you want to grow your profile, then posting 6 times a week is going to be something really,
Yeah,
really great
for sure.
for you. It's really good for the algorithm as well, because you're constantly in front of your audience. If you want to maintain your current following, and that you know you're just wanting to maintain that, then 3 to 5 times a week is something great. And if literally if you're not really caring about your audience at this point, and that you're not looking to grow that, then at this point 3 or less a week you may see a decline in your following as well.
And this again is not to discourage.
No.
This is just to overall tell you, like, start small if you're just getting started.
Yes.
If you're just brand new, right? Know that like 6 is the goal. 6 times a week is the goal. 7 even better, right?
Yep.
But start in a way where you are really creating that content, but creating that content with a purpose, right?
Yeah.
And just creating, even if it's like twice a week, right? 3 times a week, you'll know for yourself. But just create a schedule where it's never just of like, oh, my goal overall is to have like 6 pieces of content a week. No, create a system around that, right? We've shared this on one of the previous lives, that if you only have a goal, that could be of like an inspiration overall that is built in the moment, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm inspired to do 6 posts a week. But if you instead create a system for yourself, that's what creates habits, right? So if like right now, don't ask yourself, don't the difference between a goal and a system, like the goal itself will say, I want to post 6 times a week. Well, if you're brand new, how are you going to do that, right? So instead, ask yourself, how can I start now so that I can eventually get to posting 6 times a week?
Yeah.
And that's when you create like those 2 pieces of content, 3 even better, that are created with a purpose, that you organize yourself accurately, where each day you're working on, even if it's like creating the caption all in one day, right? For all 3 posts. The next day, you're actually getting the piece of content. Is it going to be real? Is it going to be a image and whatever? You have that as well. On the 3rd day, you already have all 3 posts. When are you going to post them? Create a little Google calendar for yourself, no, not calendar, Google Doc or slide, right? Where you're actually just setting that for yourself, being organized, and you can just overall just like,
we actually have a content planner
that we have that too. I almost forgot.
For the community as well. So if this is something that you're wanting to be more organized with your content creation, you can definitely go in the community resources as well, and you'll be able to have access to the content
for sure.
The content planner. So you'll be able to really plan all of your posts ahead of time.
Totally.
And with what we're about to share with you, what we're about to release to you all, you'll definitely have a lot of ideas. So you'll be able
for sure. So
have a lot of inspiration.
We only have about 7 minutes remaining.
Yes.
So let's just jump straight.
Let's get into that.
Guys, we got so much more to just share, but you guys, like, you're all part of the community. We'll have like more of these lives coming as well. If you guys are getting value, just definitely just click on those likes and hearts. Just let us know that, like, thank you. We see it already passing through. Thank you guys so much for that. And just like, we're excited to just see how you guys are going to start implementing all of this. So
definitely.
Without further ado, we can go ahead. And, you know, as we are actually saying right now, because we know that there are people watching as well with the new page that we've created for the value that we're able to provide itself. If you're not part of the community yet and you're watching directly from there, make sure to join up. You're going to see the button right here below to be able to join us live directly, so we can just answer questions, and you're going to be able to see all the past recording lives and get all the value that we're about to share here
and all
as well.
The PDFs
for the
and
community.
resources we just shared with you today as well.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just share.
So let's get into it. I'm excited.
Yes, here it is.
All right, so content creation roadmap, a master list of content ideas. So you guys, if you've been in this community for a while, you know that we have released something similar to that in the past.
Yeah,
but
this
now
is like the V.2.0, right? It's just the version 2. Yeah,
we updated it because it was really important for us that we would have something that would showcase more of the content that is now prioritized as well on Instagram. So we're not necessarily going to be reading all of them, because obviously you guys can read.
And
but
you'll get this.
Yes, and you'll get this. So you'll be able to read that on your own time. But we pretty much did 3 categories of that. So we have the business topics, of course, the things that you can talk about. And again, there's a long list of that. There's life topics too, if you want to be more vulnerable, like we were talking about, and If you want to be more authentic, share more about
Yeah, for
yourself,
sure.
your journey. Those are all things that you will be able to use. And again, there's a lot of pages over here.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you guys have got quite a bit of value in there.
It's like, man, if you're thinking right now, like, well, I want to post, but I don't know what to post. Well, we've just provided you like freaking with like hundreds of ideas at this point.
If you want to do just like Cindy and do a 30-day challenge, like you literally have something for every single day.
You're going to be ready to do like a 30-year challenge at this point. No, because it's just like, the reason why I say this and the beauty of like these particular challenges of posting is that you start with a 30-day challenge.
Yeah.
But by the end of the 30-day, you're so inspired with new things that you can post that like it gives you that momentum to then be able to just continuously go. And this particular sheet right here gives you so many topics and ideas that you can never run out of ideas until you're so inspired by your own ideas of like what to create, right?
And lastly, we have real ideas. And that is so cool because you guys, what we did is we put like what it was about, but we also sometimes put even some recommendations, how you can edit it, how you can do it, kind of ideas of how you can create the reel.
Everything.
So pretty much, you can read that and you'll be good to go, that you'll know exactly what to do for each of them. Or you can simply look them up, but there's quite a bit. I think there's like, probably around like 20, 30. So there's quite a bit.
Overall, there's so much. And like, if you guys want this right now, let us know. Just put like right here below, like that you're going to start immediately implementing it. Let us know, what are you going to start implementing first? Like, is it going to be like the business topics, the life topic, or overall, you're going to use this firstly for reels? We know that you're going to use everything. But what catches your attention for the first thing that like, man, I've been wanting to do reels for some time, or I've been wanting to have topics of like, more on the business to just be able to share? What catches your attention on this? Let us know.
And I do want to say as well that all of these, those can be also used even on your stories,
Yeah, of course. It's not
those are ideas that you can use even like to show, for example, business meetings you're having. Like that's something that you can show in your stories. You can also do a post about it and you can do a reel about it. But that's something that you can share pretty much everywhere, even on your fan page. All of your platforms, really all around. Those are things that, think about the fact that you can repurpose all of those ideas pretty much for any type of content.
Definitely. For sure. So we're going to go ahead and stop sharing as we have the last minutes. Let's see if there are any comments.
She says, so many ideas, amazing list. We're
awesome,
super happy. And also, we know that, Randy, you've started doing some reels as well. So that's really cool. You'll have a lot of new ideas too. I definitely like what you've started as well with kind of the tips with Randy and everything. That's really, really cool.
That's unique. That's
congratulations
so
for that. That's really cool. Dale also says, the reels ideas are definitely something we're always looking for, more ideas, inspiration. This is amazing. Well, we're really happy.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing as well, as you're seeing other reels online, you can click on the reel and you can actually save the audio of people. So if that's something that you're looking to do and that you see, because right now, yes, there's a lot of inspiration in there. But as you're going on your Instagram, if you give yourself, for example, okay, I'm going to schedule myself 10 minutes just to find new reel inspiration. Well, you can also save the audios. So that's going to save you time later on as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And Dilip says, for me, I feel I can start with life topics, really get to introduce myself more out in social media and share my interests. That's really good. That's a really, really nice way to start. So congratulations for putting yourself out there.
Definitely.
And Randy says, thank you guys. I got inspired on Thursday. Yes, that's great.
That's cool.
And
that's really cool.
Cindy says, real ideas for sure.
Yeah.
This is where she'll start.
Yeah,
yes,
that's cool.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Well, at this point, you guys are going to find the link. As soon as we're done with the live, we're going to post it within the community on top of this live. And you're also going to find it in the guide section, because we're going to save this live for the replay that is going to be in there. For anyone watching inside the training page, if you didn't yet join up, definitely make sure to click the button right here below so that you can have this live as well as 60 other ones, because this is number 61.
Yeah.
And of course, you'll be able to get the content creation that was just created, that will be linked on top of the slide within the community. Absolutely. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead with the next part and the last part to close off the live.
Yes.
As you all know, we always close the calls with nice affirmation cards to even just start the week with a good affirmation card. So you guys are going to be able to choose the color we have.
Just so you guys know as well, this comes from Money and the Law of Attraction cards. So those are going to be on that topic for those that didn't know. The colors are green, there's blue, and there's yellow. So which color is it going to be for today?
Let us know. And
we'll have a look at the comments. Yes, and then we'll choose the card for you guys.
For sure, guys. And with that said, this was a really fun live as well. We know that we don't talk about content creation too often. We just do more on just like as we see of the updates coming.
Yes.
But if you guys feel that this is something that you want to have more of talks about, like content creation overall, just like how to use the algorithm in the best way possible, and because there's so much to share. Right, let us know in the comments. We'll be more than happy to schedule, of course, not exactly what we just shared here, but what we would have shared if the call would have continued for another hour. So you guys get more of the value, because there's so much to be able to just share in here directly. Right?
Oh, Cindy says purple. There's no more purple.
Yeah, purple is gone.
It's green, blue, or yellow.
Yeah, because every time that we have a card, we put it aside.
We put it aside,
repeated. So these are the ones that are remaining, and then we'll have the different deck. But right now it's green, yellow, and blue.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is this was a really nice card.
Yellow.
Yes, yellow. Well, see, Cindy, I found one that is yellow and I see some purple in it. So I'm gonna choose this one for you. Okay. So today's card is money isn't everything, but let's have a look. So you are right when you think money isn't everything. You certainly do not need money to have joy in your experience, but in your society, where so much of what you live is tied to money in some way, most of you associate money with freedom. And since freedom is a basic tenet of your being, then coming into alignment with money will help you establish a balanced footing that will be of value to you in all other aspects of your experience. This is a fantastic card. Definitely having a good relationship with money and having a good money mindset is so important.
Really is.
And that is something that we talked about as well in the past, having a good money mindset. If this is something that you want to learn more about, you can definitely go in the guide section. But this is a fantastic card. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah,
Cindy.
Definitely. It really just comes down to knowing that like the freedom itself is created by you. Your joy, your happiness, and what you do overall will just really expand more of what you're currently feeling. Right. So that's why we always say, just like we said in the beginning of the call, never attach your why of what gets you up in the morning, or just like, like overall, that is not on the material side or the money side of it, because that's just a material thing. Right. Overall, find what you love to do, what you're passionate to do, share with the world. Like as you start your business, share the steps that are bringing you forward. Use that as your inspiration, and not with the purpose of like, oh, that's going to bring me more business. No, it's just enjoy the journey that you're currently in, and it will automatically attract people to want to have that level of freedom. That freedom is what? That joy that you're feeling through the process, and just overall embracing the challenges that can come with it. And what I mean by challenges is overall, like as you're expanding, you're doing new things, right? So really just like enjoy the journey with what it brings, because if you continue, it's going to overall bring you to your goal of just simply designing the life by your design, right? So
overall, just keep in mind that you're not just a business, you're a human, you're a person who runs a business, right? So it's about, your profiles are going to be about your life and also about your business, but it's not always going to be about business, because that's not who you are. It's just a part of your life.
It's like one thing that I absolutely love is like Gary Vaynerchuk said, right? It's like journal it's like a documentary of your life, right? Like at the moment that you're using social media to just pretty much show what you are doing, it's like a documentary of your life, of your journey, of how you're progressing and growing, right? So overall, just be that author of your own life, and just use social media to expand your message and your word to be able to attract more of that audience, because they're going to be inspired not only like by the business, but overall of like documentary that you're creating of your life, of the value that is being wrapped around your overall social medias, right? So with that being said, we look forward to seeing you all on next week's live. And we look forward to seeing how you guys will be implementing what was just shared here. Keep crushing it. And is there anything else that you would like to share before we let everyone go?
Have a fantastic week, everyone. It was nice to see you all today.
Yes, we'll see you next week. Bye for now.